Hello, hello, hello. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. I hope it's entertaining and inspiring. Let's get into how I got 40 acres. So, if you caught my other video, not a big deal if you didn't, but if you just want to get into the meat and potatoes of how did I get my 40 acres, well, it was a blessing from the Lord. Yes, it was. Jesus himself gave it to me. I'm just playing, but I'm not, but I am, but I'm not. It's being funny with it. But it was a complete miracle. It was not something that is impossible, just ironic how it came about. So, as encouraging as it may be, I don't want it to be discouraging to you if you don't necessarily pray or believe in, prayer, things like that, okay? I'm just going to tell you my story, and I just hope it does what it does and be storying. So anyways, back in 2018, I was living in Arizona with my children, and I was in town just doing some business, taking care of some errands and chores, and I ran into a gentleman that had some solar for sale. Well, he wasn't necessarily selling it. It wasn't up. He didn't have it posted or anything. I just happened to meet him at his job because I was in search for some water containers so that I could haul water to the property that I had at the time, which was 5 acres, $2,500. And I was able to use tax return money into a little bit of savings and purchase it outright, okay? But we're talking about 40 acres. So I was looking for some water containers so that I can, have water and stuff like that. So on the property, plants, things like that. Anyways, water, property, desert, Arizona. Anywho, so yeah, was in town, went to his job and was like, hey, do you guys have any of these containers or whatnot? And he was like, yeah, what do you want it for? And I was like, well, I have some property and, it's off grid. So I kind of have to haul water and I need it for like my garden or, life. And he was like, oh yeah, we don't have any right now, but as soon as we do, I'll let you know. And he was like, hey, by the way, do you have solar? And I was like, I don't. I just have like maybe 200 watts. So I got those from Harbor Freight. It's a kit, Thunderbolt, something like that. It's Thunder something, maybe Thunder, something. Harbor Freight's kit, tool. You're starting off. It's a great resource. Anyway, so I was telling him I just had that. And he was like, oh, well, I have a property that I'm not utilizing. Would you like to get the solar from me? And I was like, Hexters, yeah, I would. Thanks. Yeah. So I was like, well, tax return season was around the corner. And I was like, yeah, I could totally get it from you then. So we kept in contact or whatnot. And so I went, some time had passed. I went on my property. We stayed on my property a night. And I was like, I don't know about this. I don't know. I'm scared. Can't do it. So I went back to where I was at the time in an RV, and I was renting from someone a space on his property. And so we moved back. I was like, hey, can you come get me? Help. Your girl ain't ready. I was like, help. So he came back and we got all set up. It wasn't that far. It was like 10 minutes down the street or whatever. And he helped me bring it back and set back up. And so we were good to go after that. So anyway, so I'm there and I'm like, okay, you still need to do this. You can't stay here forever, even though. So in that time, I'm like, okay, I still got to get ready. And I think that it was the space. So I ended up purchasing a fifth wheel from him. He was big into, I say was, because if you don't know, if you didn't catch my other video, he has passed away since. So he used to be big into auctions. So I was able to purchase a fifth wheel from him. And I was like, this is great. When I get to that property, my 5 acres, I'm going to, have this here and have this. This is going to be the kids' one. We're going to put it together. It's going to be great. They're going to, be more happy because, there's more space. They have their own little space. We're not all jumbled up and crowded. So I was able to get that fifth wheel from him. I think he only charged me like maybe $1,000, $1,500 or something like that. Enough where he made a small profit and I got something I wanted. And so as I'm getting, both things prepared, getting the travel trailer, getting the fifth wheel cleaned out and stuff like that, I don't know, time just went on and I just felt like there was more. It's like I was missing. I cannot explain it. And I guess that's a part of the miracle. So I remember praying. I said, God, please, Lord, please help me. If there's something else for me out there, please show it to me. I don't know that this is the best location for us. I don't know what to do. And so I went to sleep, and then some time had passed, not very much, maybe just no more than a day, right? And I remember somebody else was visiting me. I don't remember her name. Anyway, so she was visiting, and she was doing like me. She wanted to come out and check out the area, see what it was like out there. So I was hosting her for the day, and like something came over me where I was like, text so-and-so about, his property. And I was like, he didn't even say he was selling it. The only thing he said was, he was going to sell me the solar. And he said, it's just a property that I'm not on. That doesn't mean he wants to sell it. And I was like, this is so weird. He's going to think I'm weird. Anyways, I still listened, and I texted him, and I'm just like, hey, I know you didn't say you were selling your property, but would you be interested in selling your property? Mind you, I didn't know where it was. I didn't know how much property it was. I didn't know how much he wanted. I just did what I was told. So a little time had passed, and I get a message, you know what? If you want that property, and mind you, I don't feel like I meet a stranger if I stop and we talk and we get to chit chat and you're open to conversing, then we're gonna talk. And I'm like, I don't meet strangers. I just I just meet people, and I just like sharing, and I just like people, right? You just learn so much just by a conversation, and you never know the benefits of what a conversation can do. And anyway, so oh man, I done lost my whole train of thought. Let's see. So I know you're telling me like you said, but okay. So basically, made contact with him. He texted me back, or he called me, and he was like, well, this is what I want you to do. Go to the location. I want you to check it out. There's a mobile home on there. I want you to check it out. It's not in the greatest condition, but he's like, I wouldn't charge you anything extra. And if you like it, I would only charge you $2,500. And then he said, it's 40 acres. I about passed out. Okay, I was grinning ear to ear. I was beaming. I was wanting to tell him, yes, okay. And he said, okay, the icing on the cake was, I'll owner finance you. And I was like, oh my God, what an answer to a prayer. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So me and the lady that I was hosting for the day, she came with me, and we were just looking at it. She's like, I want to get some of the property with you, like 10 acres or whatnot. And I was like, okay, what am I going to do with 40 acres? Like, this is massive. And so we were able to get into the house, and I was walking around, and though there was mice droppings everywhere, we're not going to say that word anymore. I'm going to call it nature. In their territory, nature be naturing, okay? So, yeah, get in, and it's like, I don't care It is a 2-bedroom. It has a bathroom. It has a kitchen. Though it didn't have a fridge, didn't have a stove, it was just an upgrade from the travel trailer and the fifth wheel. I was like, thank you. Yes, sir. Where do I sign? And it was history from there. So I say all that to say anything is possible. Sometimes even you, probably some of you that really want to do this but just don't see it, hindsight is always better, right? I had no idea at the time that me having that conversation with that gentleman would have provided me this opportunity. I had no idea when I moved to Arizona with not having any property that I would be ending up with 40 acres. I had no idea how I was going to pay for this. I was only making like an $11 an hour, maybe only working like part-time because I was a school bus driving so that I can homeschool my kids, right? But I had that determination, I had that will, I had that desire, like I want this. And I know that it's hard right now, but there is a way. And so I say that to any of you that are watching and it's like, yeah, oh, that's great. You met somebody and you got a property, great for you. No, please don't be pessimistic like that. I know that is natural, it is easy. I have watched people and like, oh, look at this couple, great. There's 2 of them, of course they can do this. Oh, they have a house here, they can sell their house. Oh, I don't have that. But what you do have are 2 things. You have your mindset and determination, and you can pray, you can, if you do other things, I guess do those other things. But I can only tell you what I did, and I prayed earnestly with so much sincerity, and I was able to be blessed that way. Before I got that 40 acres, you heard me say that I had that 5 acres. Okay, with those there, I really hope you can't hear that outside. They're doing lawn work. But like I said, I went on a website. It was called Jake, something. I might have to pause this. Okay, so like I said, I just went on the website, Luke's. Okay, if I remember, I will link it down below. I think they still sell property. So even with it being, okay, granted it was 2018, it's really hard to catch those same price ranges. So it was $2,500 for the 5 acres, and then you could have made payments on it. But there's still, you can go to LandWatch. You can go on Facebook Marketplace to see if anybody is willing to do owner financing. There's even other websites, Billy, something. I haven't used that, so it's hard for me to recommend those. All I know is there's other YouTubers that also, got property using that. There's, what's his name? Oklahoma, somebody or the other. He went on Billy's and he has 10 acres now, and he did it some time back too. But what I'm saying is land prices are never going to get cheaper. You're still in a different income than you were in 2018. So even if the prices have increased, I mean, you still want to get ahead of it because it's only going to go up from here, right? So that's just one way to look at it. And a lot of it has to do with you changing your perspective and everything. So I know this video is not really about necessarily me trying to give you advice or whatever. I just want to, be helpful and encouraging, because I know sometimes I can watch a video and be like, oh, well, that's great, you have XYZ. And I just don't want to produce that or, share that kind. So I wanted to share my story to give you hope and also give you some practical advice as well, so that you can get something from it, not just my crazy story. So yeah, I just really hope that helps. I really hope that you go out there and just make your mind up and say, you know what? I want this. I'm going to keep fighting. And I hope that you catch me again. I hope that you can watch this next video. I'm going to be talking about other things, so please check out one of my other videos. And thank you so much for clicking. Thank you so much for your time. And if you stuck it out to the end, you are a trooper. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Leave a comment and do all the things that they do, however suits your, floats your boat. I always be, anyways, y'all, peace.